Hello, I'm Katie from Ornamental Trees, and in this guide I'm going to show you how to install a container irrigation kit for your tree. Designed specifically for trees being planted into containers, this is a really nifty and easy to install piece of kit. It ensures your tree receives only the correct amount of water, so you don't have to worry about over or under watering. Make sure you have the following before you get started: a tree suited for container growing, a suitable container, soil-based planting compost, a trowel, and root grow. We offer two sizes of container irrigation kit, a medium one for smaller trees and a large one for taller trees. For the medium size, your pot needs to be at least 50 centimetres tall, and for the large size, your pot needs to be at least 65 centimetres tall. The base of your pot should always be at least 24 centimetres wide, regardless of which size irrigation kit you go for. Make sure your chosen pot is large enough for your tree to develop properly. We recommend choosing one that is about twice as wide and twice as deep as the tree's current root mass. For certain species, you may want to choose a slightly smaller pot at first and work your way up to a larger one. Also check that your pot will provide adequate drainage for your tree, and if not, you may need to add additional drainage holes. Your container irrigation kit comes in 6 parts: the reservoir lid, capillary leg, filler pipe cap, and the float. First, you'll need to assemble the kit. Take your capillary leg and fill it to the top with some of your planting compost without compacting it too much. Slot the filled capillary leg into the central hole of the reservoir lid, then secure the lid onto the reservoir. Insert your filler pipe into the side hole on the reservoir lid, pushing it right down so it's touching the base of the reservoir. Pop your float into the filler pipe, polystyrene end down. Then attach your filler pipe cap onto the end of the filler pipe. Now it's time to get planting. The first optional step is to add some crocks or large stones to the bottom of the pot to help drainage. If you do this, make sure they're not acting like a cork so water can't drain away. Then add a layer of your planting compost, at least 1 inch high. Insert your container irrigation kit. Make sure it's level and the filler pipe cap will sit flush with or just slightly above the rim of the pot. Add some more compost to your initial layer if required. Next, add your planting compost, covering the reservoir entirely. You'll need about 5 centimetres of compost between the top of the reservoir and the bottom of the tree's root mass. Then we recommend sprinkling some root grow at this stage to help the tree to grow strong and healthy roots. Remove the tree from its production pot and carefully tease out the roots, taking care not to break them. Then place the tree into the pot. The top of the tree's compost should ideally be just below the rim of the pot. Backfill around the root mass and fill a pipe cap with your compost. Gently firm the compost to remove any air pockets. Take care not to bank the soil up over the collar or graft union of the tree, as this can cause rotting. Insert water into your filler pipe until the plastic top of the float rises level with the filler pipe cap. Then water the surface of the soil using a watering can. When your tree needs water, it uses capillary action to draw the water through its soil from the reservoir. When it doesn't need water, the water remains inside the reservoir, meaning your tree is never over or underwatered. Top up the water level periodically so it doesn't run out, and make sure to continue surface watering your tree as required, particularly in hot or dry weather. And that's all done. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to watch our other video guides for more tree care, planting and advice.